Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today it's one of my replays again, and I'm in the Großer Kurfürst, a tier 10 German battleship. I'm on the map Haven, and it's a 4-point domination game. It's a tier 10 battle with, well, not too many tier 10s around. There are 2 destroyers. And well, I've spawned here in the north, so that's where I am. I've got my Hydro running because there is a Harugumo inside this app, inside the smoke screen. Well, I presume he's still inside the smoke screen, I don't actually know. I'm divisioned with my friends in the booster and the gearing. And it looks like the enemy has actually sent a sizable force here our way. Now, they also have some radar present, which is why we don't have a destroyer currently inside the cap circle. And look at that, this Georgia coming this way. So I have to decide what to do from here on. Now, I wanted to be in a position where I can help shoot a destroyer inside this camp, but it doesn't look like we'll get some vision anytime soon. The thing is, right, its force is too big for me to push in. If I continue on my path forward, or around here, right, I'm running into 2 Bismarcks, a Georgia, and some cruiser support, potentially the destroyer. That's not something I can do on my own. Now we have a Tirpitz here who is in the far north. I mean, obviously this is not the situation where he wants to get closer. Oh, the Mogami is spotted. I could try that. Potentially. Or, you know, I could go for a Petro that's reversing out here full broadside. Now, I think my front guns can't really shoot it yet, but, well, the rear guns can. And that was a Citadel. Now, I'm not sure what the Petro's plan is, but, you know, reversing in front of a fleet full broadside is not necessarily the recommended tactic for any ship, basically, really. So, smokescreen has dispersed by now. The enemy Harugumo is still there. The enemy controls this camp, but we are in the process of taking B. And, I mean, this battle is still in its early stages, so we don't have to be getting too aggressive here. I'm hoping that I can shoot this Petro again. Oh, the Harugumo got taken out, the Petro got taken out. And we are approaching a time where I can actually potentially try a little bit more aggression, especially the Georgia. Georgia is now leaving. So with the Georgia leaving, that leaves 2 Bismarck, a Baltimore, and a Mogami. Now that's still 4 ships, right? But, oh, lovely Citadel there. But I don't necessarily have to engage them all at the same time, hopefully. And it comes to, like, I mean, if I can get the cruisers in close quarters and can surprise them, I might be able to deal with them quickly. And as I said, I do have some support here, so it's definitely time to start some aggression. I feel like the enemy has been whittled down enough that we can actually have some fun here. So, even better news, this Bismarck is peeking around here, it looks like. Come on, Bismarck. So if I can finish off the Bismarck first, then there's only 3 ships remaining, and you know. There we go, nice hit there. Now, here's the thing, right? I can try to turn and use my rear guns, it exposes my broadside a little bit. It's only a Bismarck in a way, but the Bismarck can still hurt if he knows where to aim at my ship. Will still hurt. Now, I'm trying to turn back and angle more, but obviously I'm a Kurfürst. Movement is not something that my ship does well. And I mean, yeah, I took a hit there. So the Bismarck is coming down nicely. And, well, I think we can finish off here. So, that's the Bismarck dealt with. Now, I'm gonna go full speed around this corner. The enemy is down to 3 ships there. Now, they are engaged with my Edinburgh and the Hipper. Well, there goes the Edinburgh. I mean, our cruisers are a little bit too aggressive here, considering that they are pushing... well, I mean, there is Georgia, who, you know, has their broadside. And... well, I mean, they are not the best frontline ships. They should have waited a bit more in a more secure location, especially since, I mean, I'm pushing forward here, right? Anyway. It takes me a while to push around this, but if the cruisers would have been like closer to my booster and would have just, you know, pew-pewed from range, they would probably still be alive. And if they'd waited until I come around here, then, you know, we could have probably dealt with those guys rather efficiently. Now I'm currently hydroing, which means that the Baltimore will remain spotted, no matter what he does. The Bismarck is pretty low already. I assume Bismarck's gonna go down. Now, meanwhile, while we do still have the P-cap technically, it's something that we're going to lose soon. This game is actually pretty close, right? Now we only have the Baltimore to deal with here, then we're going to flip C, meanwhile the enemy is going to flip B. And well, we will see what happens from then. Now D is also quite open. And meanwhile I've almost managed to get around here. And there isn't much Baltimore left, but we are just in time for some surprise! So B is basically lost. I'm gonna go towards, well, towards B now, right through C here. That's my plan. Now there is a tier pits that's coming here up north. Or at least that's the last information we had. I'm not sure if the tier pits is actually sticking to the plan or if the tier pits is going more towards B. Now my idea is get closer to the island here and then see what happens. There is a Somers. My hydro isn't running for much longer, so I probably wanna go towards this island and engage some ships there. Use the island a bit as cover. And then wait for the next hydro charge. My last one actually, until I... Well, I mean, a lot of it will happen in this time, so let's not get ahead of myself. I'm currently undetected, which means I can... I'm contemplating blind shooting here, but still since I'm undetected, I can just... Oh no, wait. Well, there is the tier pits. So, change of plans, right? I was considering just sitting in here and camping. My division mate is actually going for D to camp. But, you know, in this case, I'll just engage the tier pits. Now, here is the problem, right? The Georgia is currently shooting me. This Minotaur is currently shooting me. If it's currently shooting me, I'm a little bit in a crossfire. So, oh, and there are torpedoes. Now, the idea is to get closer to this island to have some cover and then turn towards the tier pits. I didn't want to show much broadside against the main damage source, which is the B-cap. I'm much more comfortable showing a bit more broadside against the tier pits. I got caught out a little bit in a crossfire, which is unfortunate. Especially since the Georgia is turning in. I was hoping this island would already be providing protection. But I guess in that sense, good move by the Georgia, because he's pushing in, he keeps the crossfire going, and he did quite a lot of damage to me, yeah? Now the torpedoes against the tier pits are looking good, so I'm hoping this tier pits is going to be dealt with. And I'm already turning my guns towards the Georgia, and I'm prepared for the broadside. Now what the Georgia isn't doing so well is he's coming in full broadside. And, you know, I can totally citadel him. Now I have 2 fires currently, which is a bit of a shame, because my damage guns are on cooldown. Well, there is 1 citadel. Unfortunately, that wasn't quite enough, and considering I'm burning on 2 fires, this is gonna be... Oh, the Minotaur is coming too. Okay. So, Georgia is trying to back up here, but he's too late. Well, I'm at 181 hit points. I got a hydro, I can hydro the Minotaur. I mean, the Minotaur is hydroing me, so he's absolutely aware of how low. Now, this is where the Minotaur screws up, right? I just shot the Georgia. I need time to reload. If the Minotaur would have come around here right now, I would be dead. But now he waited long enough, I've got a heal going. I mean, I can't just go through his nose. I only get 3 pens, which is a bit of a shame. But I have a team that is helping. I got so incredibly lucky there that I wasn't destroyed. And that Minotaur's hesitation just allowed me to survive. And now basically we have 6 ships against 3. Now the enemy is still in this, I suppose. We have an enemy destroyer in A, and he might just be able to torpedo our battleships there. Who knows? Now what I'm doing is I'm waiting for this hipper, because this hipper seems to be interested in charging through here. Now hipper has 6-kilometer torpedoes, so I presume he's going to come in here and torpedo me, and probably torpedo with this on the other side, my division mate or something like that. But he's going to come in full broadside, and I have only my rear guns pointing at him. I can't quite maneuver well enough to also get my front guns pointing at him. My idea is now that once he comes, I go forward and turn, and maybe get something with the front guns. Now, there he is. Shells out, and that's forward. Oops. Now it looks like he isn't bothering torpedoing me because my Hydro isn't picking anything up. That's interesting. Well, good. My division mate has that covered, it looks like. Now he took a few torpedoes there, but it's alright, it's alright. We are doing well here. Now the enemy team has flipped A and sunk the friendly battleship we had there. But we are in the process of capping C, I suppose. And you know, it's still 5 against 2. So pretty much the odds are in our favor. Of course, my division mate is pretty low. I'm not that healthy, although the enemy Kremlin also pretty low. I mean, what the enemy needs for a comeback here is some pretty good torpedo hits. It's the Somers. Somers has, well, 3 torpedo launchers and pretty long-range torpedoes. So the Somers could easily, like, be torping North Carolina from there, technically. And if he splits up his torps and gets really lucky, I mean, he could also keep my division mate spotted. Maybe a Kremlin could deal with that. But it's unlikely for the enemy to win this. They are technically still... They still have a chance. Now... Well, here goes my division mate. Now, technically, the safer option would be to turn more towards the left here. Because, you know, I'm way too broadside. But the Kremlin's guns haven't fully turned yet, and he is so low that I can just easily take care of that without too much worry. And my captain gets really excited about this. So we're going to flip B now. The RY is going into C, and you know, at this point it's 4 minutes 40 left. The enemy team needs a bunch of, like the enemy destroyer needs a bunch of really good torpedo hits, right? Now, of course, this North Carolina is low. He could potentially even gun this guy down, especially if... Yeah, okay, I don't think fires. I mean, was just thinking him if he gets good fire, but he doesn't need RNG for that. But Somers guns are more than enough to deal with this North Carolina if he gets like 2-3 salvos in the superstructure. Of course, the Somers... I don't know how much head points he has. And he probably doesn't want to resort to open water gunboating. Now, how healthy is my Iowa? The Iowa is also pretty low. So, well, I mean, we could just be sailing away from the fight right now to just take some points, I guess. But yeah, you see, there are torpedoes, right? If he had gotten me with 2 torps here or so, who knows? And then he'd need to get this North Carolina, the Iowa. It's not gonna happen. Now he's taking care of the North Carolina as I would have expected, and I just missed. My division mate in the gearing is going in there though, and like there's... I mean, my gearing is just way too healthy, right? Unless Viper eats torps or detonates, which would be somewhat hilarious, I guess. This isn't going to go into the Somers' favor. Meanwhile, I've decided I'm going to take C and I'm going to go away from this whole debacle somewhat. Then again, you know, I'm just one kill short of a Kraken. And the Somers is even outside of torpedo range, so you know. Let's see. I mean... Pretty much, yes. Well, that brings us to the results, and I think my division mates and myself, we did quite well in this. Interestingly enough, we are within 4 experience points of each other. So, yeah, that happened. Also, our whole division took out 10 ships in total. So there is that. It was a fun match. I did get myself a Dreadnought and a Kraken, scoring 189,000 points of damage, and you know, I got 180 secondaries. And when we take a closer look at those, you can see that I did like 31,000 points of damage with direct secondary hits, and another like 12k with fires. So, you know, I mean, secondaries, they still do their job, to be honest. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you next time.